Hey, are you tired of your RV water pressure dying after you just put in a new water filter? Well, we are too. Rose, she couldn't even rinse the shampoo out of her hair properly, but we're getting ready to test something out, and I'm excited to show you exactly what we're going to do. So let's see if it corrects our water pressure issues. Stick around and I'll show you exactly how we do it. Hey guys, Steve here from Ramblin' Reflections. Today we're solving a problem that's been driving us absolutely crazy, our water pressure situation. If you've been RVing for any length of time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Look at this pathetic water pressure. This is what we're dealing with after just a little over a month with our current filter. And before you ask, yes, we've checked everything else. It's definitely the filter that's killing our pressure. Today we're testing a potential game changer, a whole house filter system. I'm going to show you the exact pressure readings, the installation process, and whether this investment can solve our monthly filter replacement headache. So stick around because the results, they're going to shock you. So here's our current situation. We've been using this Clear2-O filter, and while it does an amazing job catching the sediment, we're only getting about a month out of it before our water pressure drops to almost nothing. That means we're constantly replacing filters, dealing with weak showers, and getting frustrated every time we try to wash dishes. When you're living full-time in an RV like we are, good water pressure isn't a luxury, it's an essential for comfortable living. Before we make any changes, I want to get some hard data. I'm a firm believer in measuring twice and cutting once, especially when it comes to our RV systems. I've got this pressure gauge. I've got one already on here for the incoming side. I'm going to put this one on the outgoing side, and then we're going to measure the pressure differences coming in and going out of our Clear2-O filter. Then we're going to do the same test with our new whole house filter system, and we'll compare the two. All right, I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but if you look here, it looks like I've got about 55 pounds of pressure on the input side. And then when I come down here, if you look down here, I've got maybe 35 pounds of pressure going out. That's a 20 PSI drop. So let's see if this whole house filter makes a difference. So here's what we picked up, a whole house water filter housing and a sediment filter to start with. The theory is simple. If we can use a larger filter housing with better flow characteristics, we should be able to maintain water pressure much longer. This housing is significantly larger than our current Clear2-O filter, which means more surface area for filtration and less restriction on water flow. We're starting with just a sediment filter because our main goal is to keep all the big particles and sediment out of our water lines. Since we filter all our drinking and cooking water through our Culligan water filter anyway, this first stage is really just about protecting our RV's plumbing system and maintaining good pressure for showers and cleaning. If this works well, we're planning to add a second filter stage to it, maybe a charcoal filter for even better water quality. All right, so we picked this filter up at Home Depot. It's a GE whole house filter system, and we got this for 40 bucks. So a little bit much to start off with, and then a 2-pack of filters. These were $14, so $7 each. Where that little inline Clear2-O filter runs me almost $30. So we don't have much more into this than we do that, but I've got an extra filter already. Now granted, it doesn't take out as much as that Clear2-O takes out. This is only for sediment. We have a Culligan zero water filter inside that we filter all our drinking water and cooking water through anyway. So this really is just going to protect our lines, keep it from going and stopping up our shower heads, stopping up our sink faucets in the bathroom and the kitchen. And if we maintain good enough pressure, then we'll go back and we'll add another unit to this, and maybe I'll go with a charcoal filter at that point, and we can build it on out to, we can do a 3, or we can build it however long we want to, but we're going to start with this and just get the sediment filtered through to keep it from going through our RV. So let me show you what we've got to do here. So the first thing I had to do is, these are pipe thread right here. These will not, I got to have a garden hose going in, or the garden hose. I'm going to have the water hose going in here from the supply faucet out there. And then I'll have another one coming back out this way, going to the camper. So those are garden hose threads. So these are pipe threads in here, so you have to get something to adapt that to. So let me show you what I've come up with here. So this is going to be the supply hose. It's going to run up to the water faucet right there, and it'll run back into here. So I have to adapt this so it would screw onto the faucet. So got this little adapter here. It's a 3/4 by 3/4 with the hose. Let's see, it's got the plumbing threads on one side and the garden hose threads on. So it's a lot finer on this end, and then this is coarse enough to accept the garden hose, or it's coarse enough to accept the water speed. So that'll just go on here like that. And this has got a rubber washer down in here, so I don't even have to put thread tape on it. This goes in there. I'll tighten that up. This end, let's see, which is the in supply inside. This is the in, and this is the out. So this side has to go to here. So now I need another adapter, a nipple. So I will put this nipple right here. Now this one will have to have some thread tape because it's not got a rubber grommet. So this will go in here. Fits perfect. That's just pipe thread. Alright, let me go ahead and put this on there, clean piece. Now, there is a trick to this. You wouldn't think there would be, but there's actually a trick to wrapping the pipe through. You got to think about which way is this pipe going to spin when you're going in. So you don't want it to you don't want your nylon tape to end like this, because it's going to spin clockwise to the way you're seeing right here. And if it does, then it's going to peel that tape back off. So you've got to have it go in the opposite direction like this. So it's got to end up so that whenever it's going this way, you're not pulling it off. So put a little like this. And you do not want to stop up your hose either, or the hole there. So see, this is going this way. It ended, let me see if I can show you this. It ended going this way. So whenever I tighten it, I'll be going clockwise. It'll be pulling this tape down onto it rather than peeling it back off. So let me get that installed. We'll tighten all this up before we're done. All right, so next, have to have another adapter here. Tear off a piece of this so I can show you what I'm doing. Alright, so it's going to be going clockwise into the unit there. So I want to make sure that as I'm tightening it, I am pulling this tape into the threads rather than pulling it off of the threads. So you got to be cognizant of which way you wrap this so that you don't wrap it the wrong way. So now, when it's on this, it's ending right here. So when I go to turn it on, it's going against the end of it instead of coming this way. Does that make sense to you guys? All right. We'll just grab some channel locks, tighten this up. Alright, so this is the inside. This takes the pipe threads, so that would be what's on here. Go ahead and put that on. You know what? That's got a rubber in it, so I don't have to put pipe thread on it, or thread tape on it. Tighten this up. This side will be ready to go. Now this side has got the coarse thread, so your regular garden hose or whatever you want to call it, your RV hose can go right up on there. So that's good. Now what I'm going to do on this end is I'm going to actually put our pressure regulator on here so I can read how much pressure is going out, and I'll have the other pressure regulator on the faucet so that I can see how much is going in. So next thing we'll do is we'll get this filter put in the housing. There's a little more drops down in there. Can you see on the bottom? Let's see. It's got this, got a little nipple that sticks up right there. So you got to drop this down and let it seat so that it goes right over the nipple right there. All right. And then your housing top has got a nipple right here, and that will go down into fit down right in the middle of that also. So, and you've got an O-ring right here. Make sure that your O-ring is in place. All right. We are there. Let me go get the pressure regulator, and I'll put it on this end right here, and we'll be ready to hook this up. All right. So we'll put the pressure regulator, the outgoing regulator, on this side. Yes, you missed it. I just got sprayed with water when I turned it loose. I should have videoed that for you guys, but I didn't. All right. So this one is all ready to set up. Obviously, after I test this a little bit and make sure that it works like I want to, I'm going to build some kind of a housing for it. And I've got a few things in mind. I thought I could build a PVC frame possibly to help support all this. And then I even thought about making it somehow so that I can insulate this, maybe even put a little piece of heat tape in it for the winter time, just so this can stay sitting outside and I don't have to worry about it. So that'll be an ongoing project, and I'll show you that as soon as I get it all fixed up. So let's go put this on and see how we compare. All right, this is also got, so this is the filter position off and bypass. So we're with it down this way, it's filter. If I turn it this way, it would be off. Turn it this way, it would be bypass. All right, so you can see right here, I've got about 55 pounds of pressure on this gauge, incoming, and then outgoing, right about the same thing, 55 pounds of pressure. So we haven't lost any pressure with this new filter system. So as I said just a minute ago, I'm going to build a little frame to hold this after I figure out what we're going to do. But until then, I just had a little idea. I have this little bucket from Home Depot. I'm going to make a little circle around it. I'll cut that circle out, and then when I get ready to set this up, until I build that, I can just drop this down in that bucket hole, and it ought to help stabilize it. All right, so let's get our temporary holder built here. go. That ought to hold for now. Let me put this in perspective for you. Our Clear2-O filter was giving us a 20 psi drop. This new whole house system is not giving us any drop at all. That's going to provide better performance. This is going to be like having a completely different water system. Well, let's talk numbers, because I know that's what you're thinking about. This whole house filter housing and sediment filter cost us about $40 for the filter housing and $14 for the sediment filter. But the sediment filter came with 2 filters, so it basically breaks down to $7 a piece. That's quite a savings. Our old Clear2-O filters, they were costing us almost $30 each, and we replaced them almost every month and a half. That's $240 a year just in filter cost, plus the frustration of constantly dealing with low water pressure. If this new system can maintain good pressure for even 3 months per filter change, and I think it'll do much better than that, we're looking at almost $200 a year in savings. Now, of course, that doesn't include the filters that we purchased for our Culligan Zero Water filter pitcher, but we're buying those anyway, so this system, it's going to pay for itself in the first month if it works out. Well, here's the real value. We get to enjoy proper water pressure the entire time. No more weak showers, no more waiting forever to fill pots, no more frustration with the daily tasks. The beauty of this modular approach is that we can expand the system as needed. We could add a carbon filter, maybe even a UV sterilizer if we're getting water from questionable sources. But for now, we're focused on solving the water pressure issue and protecting our RV's plumbing from sediment damage. Now, for those of you considering a similar upgrade, here are the key things to think about. First, measure your current pressure drop so you know what you're trying to improve. Don't just guess, get actual numbers like we did. Second, consider your water usage patterns. If you're like us and you use a lot of water for cooking and cleaning, maintaining pressure is crucial for a comfortable RV living. And finally, think about your water sources. If you're mostly staying at RV parks that have decent water, which you can never tell, a sediment filter might be all you need. But if you're boondocking or using questionable water sources, you might want to plan for additional filtration stages from the start. So guys, we'll keep you updated on how this system performs over the next month. I'm planning to do a follow-up video, and I'll show you some real-world results. If you're dealing with a similar water pressure issue in your RV, let us know in the comments. What solutions have you tried? Have you used the whole house water filter system? What were your results? And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Ramblin' Reflections for more RV DIY projects and more honest reviews of products we can actually use in our full-time RV lifestyle. Well guys, until next time, stay safe out there, and I'll see you next week.